Hey guys, so I just got back from the post office dropping off another batch of orders from a successful Whatnot sale. I've technically done 4 shows now, but one of them I had to split into because I was having Wi-Fi issues. So we'll say 3 shows. And they've gone really, really well. I've sold about $400 worth of product right now. So that I am like so impressed with how this is going. So I wanted to share tips and tricks, things that I'm learning as I go that I feel like I'll forget to share, as I become more seasoned, because I do plan to stick with this. So for newer sellers or people who are thinking about getting into selling, I hope that this information helps. So first up are 2 tips, and they go together, and they are big ones for me anyway, and they are: be honest about the quality of your items, and please clean everything before you ship it. So when I did my first sale, it was just stuff from my own closet. That's definitely how I recommend getting started. And everything was essentially clean. It was all things that had been hanging in my closet or, stored in storage containers, things like that. So they were fine for the most part. But if I stumbled across something that had a stain or, had fuzz on it, things like that, I went ahead and washed it, treated the stains. And then when I'm selling items, I make sure that I'm honest. I have a sweatshirt that's in my shop right now and has a tiny, tiny little pinhole in it that whoever owned it before, they sewed it up. They did a great job. And it's really not that noticeable. So I could just pretend it's not there and hope that my buyer doesn't notice. But I would much rather, run my shop with integrity and maybe potentially make a fewer dollars than sell something really quickly and get a bad review or have that buyer never come back to me because I wasn't honest. There are multiple sellers that I buy or have bought from, that I will not go back to their shops because they lied. And sometimes, you miss a call out. A call out is something that's wrong with an item. Sometimes you miss it. But there are sellers that as you continue to buy from them, you'll realize they're not missing it. They're just hoping you don't notice. They just want that quick buck and then they're moving on. That's not the way I like to run my shop. So my, sales from this past weekend were mostly thrift shop finds. So I washed everything. Nobody wants to smell that thrift shop smell, or maybe you do, but I don't. So I took the time to wash everything. And then as I'm packing items, I'm lint rolling again. So I'm lint rolling everything. I have a little fabric shaver thing that I got off of TikTok shop for $10. So if I have any pilling on items, I'll run that over items. You don't have to do all of those things, but I do feel like it makes me feel less anxious when I ship an item, and I know that I've made sure that I was honest with my seller, that I've cleaned it, and I've done everything I can to make it something that is wearable for whoever's purchasing it. So those are just a couple things. But yeah, for example, there's a big seller on there. They sell out of a warehouse. They sell a lot of Anthropologie, Revolve, things like that. I have purchased 3 dresses from them, and all 3 of them had issues that they did not disclose. Now, their sales are super fast, rapid fire, and they do say there are going to be call outs that we miss. So it can happen. However, the call outs for these items were really big. And so I think they were intentionally overlooked, which is fine, but now I have them and nobody wants to buy them from me. And I don't want to return them. So it's just be honest. Just take the time to be honest. And then there's another seller who I really loved. She was just starting out at the same time as me. So I really tried to support her, and I watched all her lives. I bought a bunch of stuff from her, and then I had things come in that were covered in it looked like rabbit fur. I don't know, maybe they have a big fluffy brown cat, fluffy brown animal fur all over things, which I was okay, not a huge deal. I can wash it. It's kind of gross. But I have animals, so I'm not judging, but I don't know where that came from. So I washed them. But then also there are things that I purchased from her. One of the shirts that I purchased for my daughter has blood stains on it. That's gross. Disclose that. Don't cover it up and try to hide it and sell it to make a couple dollars. So I'm going to get on my soapbox now. So just don't do that to people. If something has a lot of issues, just be honest about it. And if it's not something you can sell, cut your losses and donate it, or, turn it into something else. Okay, the next ones will be quicker. Load your shop. Take your time to load your shop. A lot of sellers just do random pulls, and that's great for big sellers or sellers who are selling like one brand of, an item, or, the people who do like Amazon return liquidations, things like that. But for me personally, as a seller, if I'm swiping and I come across somebody's sale and they happen to be holding up something that's my style and my size, I'll stick around and see what it is. But then if the next item they pull out is something super random, I'm gone. I'm like, okay, I don't need that. I don't know what else you have. I'm not sticking around to see. Also, if I don't know what sizes somebody has, if I'm shopping for myself, I'm not going to waste a lot of time sitting there for 30 minutes waiting for them to pull out something my size. I'm going to go to their shop and see what they have. So loading your shop helps your buyers, but also it makes selling a lot easier for you. I was watching a seller last night who, sorry, I know this is getting really long, but it's a lot of information, and I truly do hope that it's helpful. I was watching a seller last night. It was her first show, and I was like, all right, I'm going to watch, I'm going to support her. But she didn't have anything loaded, and so she was having to do random pulls, having to redo the listing, weigh everything. So it was taking such a long time that like her buyers were just disappearing so fast. So especially when you're getting started, take the time, load your shop. You'll be so glad you did. It'll make everything so much easier. And then as you get more comfortable, if you want to, experiment with random pulls, do that. But for your first few sales, I definitely recommend loading your shop. Organization. So I discovered what I do that really is helping as I am in the middle of a sale. If somebody buys something, I write their name on a sticky note, like their username or whatever it is. I write it on a sticky note and I stick it in front of whatever it was that they purchased. And then as they continue to buy more, I just put them back in their pile. So that way afterward, I'm not trying to find everything and put it all back together. I'm putting it together as I go. And then after the sale, I am, as you can see, there's fuzz flying all around. I am lint rolling everything. I take the time to tie everything up with a ribbon, wrap it in tissue paper, put some stickers in there, check the packing slip, and then I pack it and ship it and send it off. But yeah, just kind of writing somebody's name on a sticky note and then starting a pile for them has been fantastic. Another couple tips. I don't know that I recommend promoting your shows. I considered it, but it was like $38 for a 15-minute promotion. So I didn't feel like that was a good gamble that I wanted to take. So I didn't do it. But as I was watching last night, other sellers, like you can tell when it's been boosted or promoted. And so I could tell who had boosted their show, and they still had very few viewers. So I don't think promoting necessarily works. So I definitely don't recommend doing it just from the get-go. Just be okay with having some slower shows. Know that the times are hit or miss. Yesterday was Sunday. Typically there are a ton of buyers on there on Sundays, and yesterday as I was watching, most channels had like really low numbers. So it's going to be hit or miss. And then the last one, spend a lot of time shopping on the app. You don't have to actually buy stuff, but of course I do. But watch other shops, watch what they do, follow people. If you're interacting with people in the chat, follow them. When you sell things, if somebody buys something from you, follow them. Whatnot is a beautiful little community. So, follow people, use that engagement, and then along the way you'll also build some friendships and things like that, which is fantastic. But yeah, I hope that helps. So be honest, clean your stuff, take the time to load your shop, use sticky notes to organize purchases as you are selling within your live show. Maybe consider not promoting your show, and then spend your time like shopping, researching, following people. I hope this helps. Sorry it was so long. If you have any questions, let me know.